You're only as old as you feel. I'm Jeff Stein with today's Iowa Politics Report. The Biden administration this week, through the transportation secretary, said that raising the airline pilot retirement age to 67 from the current 65 is not a good idea. Secretary Pete Buttigieg said those mandatory retirement ages were there for a reason, and he said he was not going to be on board with anything that compromises safety. Some on the right, including media outlets, asked the administration why 66 was too old to fly a commercial plane, but 80 was just fine if the job was President of the United States. Wisely, the administration has ignored those questions. Yes, a mandatory retirement age may catch some folks who have no need to retire. Having a case-by-case analysis would probably be best, but in the case of airline pilots, we simply don't have the resources for that. It's the simplest way to have a rule in place for this large category of people. By definition, airline pilots operate heavy machinery, and we're not supposed to do that after simply taking certain cold medicine. The idea of some raising the issue is that the incumbent is the oldest to ever hold the office, and there are clearly some issues already present with that. But here's the main difference between the two situations. We get a chance to vote for or against the president continuing in the job. And since he's the only one in the category, other provisions like the 25th Amendment are there for a one-time specific forced retirement. We don't need a presidential retirement age. But with a potentially large number of pilots reaching a certain age, it's hard to go case by case. And public safety is definitely an issue when you're talking about pilots. Now, admittedly, a president has the nuclear codes, but you get the idea. So while it is tempting to try to draw Joe Biden's age and condition into this conversation about pilots, it's really not a valid comparison. And changing a blanket retirement rule just because we have a current shortage also seems short-sighted. Perhaps allow for case-by-case consideration. But the worst reason for changing a rule is because you feel you have to. And that's the Iowa Politics Report for Wednesday, July 13 on Twitter, Instagram, Getter, Parler, and Truth Social at Iowa Politics. I'm Jeff Stein on News Talk 1540 KXEL.